especially as musicians and vocalists, and you start realizing like how crowded the space is. Like competition is a really great indicator of where your heart's at. And
Mm-hmm.
so one of the things that I try to remind myself too is that like for me, I remember that like I have a very specific call of God on my life, and
Mm-hmm.
it's much bigger than just like playing guitar or doing whatever. And so one of the things that I remember thinking is like I went through this phase where it's like I'm gonna practice 5 hours a day and no one's gonna outplay me. Like I'm gonna be the best. And the reality of it is there's always going to be someone better than you. And if your mark is being the best guitar player, you will always fall short and you'll never be fulfilled. On the
Mm-hmm.
other hand, if I know like the reason I'm on the earth is to do this, and I'm going to do everything that I can to make sure that I equip myself and I prepare myself to what I feel like the Lord is calling me to do, then all of a sudden it doesn't matter how much success Tanner has. It doesn't matter how much success, and I'll use him, but the other guitar player with Bethel Music. It doesn't matter how much success David Hislop has, because nothing that he does actually affects my journey in life. And so the minute that you start being like, I want that person to fail because there's only room for one person at the top, or I want that person to fail, then you actually don't believe the call in your God for your life is actually for you. And you're joining in this call that's not actually from the Lord. And so that's a really good indicator for you. And so one of the things that I think is a really good tool, if you find that, and if we're all honest, we've all experienced that before, the competition aspect. Yeah, and there's no bad thing. Well, it is bad, man, but it's an interesting aspect. And one of the things that I found with help is you can kind of go backwards in it. It's like a little bit of reverse psychology. And so if you're like, I just realized that my heart is not right because I am so competitive and I'm actually wanting people to fail, then if you do it backwards and you're like, I'm actually going to force myself to pray for other people's success, I'm going to pray for the favor of God on other people's lives, then all of a sudden your heart starts to follow that. And so I would just really encourage you guys too, in the competition sense, that's a really big indicator for me of like, holy cow, I just wanted that person to break his ankle so he couldn't play a job that I wanted. It's like, obviously I'm making that up. That's terrible, but it's like, oh, that's a really good indicator of where my heart is at in the journey of like, I
Mm-hmm.
feel called to do this and I want to do it in excellence.